It's all good.
Hey Tim, how's it going?
Hey, pretty good, Chad. How are you tonight?
Oh, I'm doing well. I'm just thinking about this game and golly, man, we got handed to us. We got beat really bad. I'm embarrassed, I have to say, and I feel like the defense just did not play well at all. I mean, at least the offense put up a little bit of something out there, but the defense just didn't play well at all. And I'll tell you what, Tim, I just think that we talked ourselves into beating this team when we made our predictions last week, and we kind of made that a footnote after the predictions, I guess.
Well, also we talked about their tight end Pitts. If he's out, that definitely gives us a shot. Our defense was a better shot at stopping him. It wouldn't have mattered. I mean, it's the same output. They just replaced him with somebody that beat us. We just kept outmatched. Just couldn't stop them. Couldn't get off the field. When the offense had problems too. I mean, we scored 35, 7 of those at the end of the game. But 28 good points and stuff. But you needed long drives there. And, at the end of the first half, defense just you could tell they're struggling. But we still down 21-14. We could, and then they gave up another touchdown after we pulled within. You know what I mean? We came out of the gates after the defense gave up a touchdown. We tied it. Tied it 7-7, but from then on out, it wasn't a real game.
Yeah, absolutely.
Not put in our place again, man. They're just better than us right now. But
Hey, hold on just a second.
is that live, man? Can you cut that out?
Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that, guys. I had a little something going on there, and I just wanted to fix it. So,
Check one.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we're right where we need to be. So, now I heard everything you were saying before. I just noticed that I had to have a little buttons or flip switch or whatever it is over here. So, anyway, we got it taken care of. We're good to go now. My bad.
Nah, we're good. Gotta get these things running as a weekly podcast. You know what I mean?
Like we need a producer that handles this stuff, and we don't have one. It's just me.
Just have it set up where we can just come in and one of these days we're gonna be able to sit down in the same room with a producer and just hang out, and do record the podcast live together. We've been doing this over the internet, man. Wow.
That's wild.
So it happens. Technical difficulties. I didn't say anything, man. I mean, Florida game. Yeah, they're better than us. I mean, they big game weekend.
Golly, they came out and played a tough game. It was just, it is what it is. But like I said, I just feel like I feel like we shot ourselves in the foot. We just didn't play very good defense at all. The ball just didn't roll our way. We didn't get any lucky breaks at all during the game, and that's tough when that happens.
One sack, one lonely sack.
Yeah, and you got an offense that's doing okay, but just not enough power to be going up against the offense that's scoring the way they were. Our offense to beat them would have had to get in a shootout, and I think we proved in this game that we're not going to get in a shootout with anybody. So we really need the defense to step up, when we roll into LSU. And I think they can. That offense we saw at Florida, man, that's a powerhouse offense. That's like LSU last year, right?
Yeah, exactly. That's what the offense looked like.
Yeah, and what we're fixing to go up against, and we'll talk about this in a bit, is just totally stripped down from what they did have. So
yeah,
to go up against that and be able to put up some points on that elite defense they had, I mean, that's promising right there. And that just shows that we have a really good offense and we got a good game plan and that we're doing better at the end of the year than we were at the beginning of the year. Because I don't know that we would score as well on that elite defense, back towards the beginning of the year. But goodness, their offense was ridiculous too, and I was just surprised. I didn't think. I mean, I knew they were good. I guess I just didn't realize they were that good.
Yeah, Trask just sat back there, didn't get any pressure at all the time of the day, so he delivers it to the receiver, who they made the plays. They're just stronger, taller than we are, just going up, and it didn't look right, man.
No, it didn't. It didn't look right at all. I mean,
but they didn't. They don't. Just the receivers didn't. They didn't drop any. Like we always have. It seemed like some of these teams we play, or they never did anything, miscommunicated. We couldn't turn them over. No,
you're exactly right. And so what do? You just go out there and I don't know. You do what we did. You struggle, and you have a game that that's hard to look back on, honestly,
Yeah, I hate losing to Florida like that. I mean, you got to know even more, Chad. But the two nice things I did see, those two made we had an 80-yard run, by Smith, Traylon Smith. He had another big game. He's got to get them up more touches.
Yeah.
Here on out, that's just clear to see. And then Woods, he has two catches, 2 touchdowns, but the 80 yards. So we had, I think, the first offense in the SEC since 2014 to get an 80-yard plus touchdown rush, and then an 80-yard, plus touchdown reception in the same game.
Mm-hmm. And my philosophy didn't hold true in this game, and I think it will in the next game, and I believe it in the last game and the few games before that. And I'll take one game out of, however many, but, we did score, the 28 points, right? But we just, our offense dropped, our defense dropped the ball, man. And it's just all it is to it. I mean, defense just purely dropped the ball. And, I hate to have to call you guys out like that, but, hey, all year you've been getting nothing but praise, and it is what it is. But in this particular game, it was a poor showing.
Yeah, when we've been giving up these games, against A&M, even Georgia did it to us. We're missing tackles. We're not tackling as well.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't help that Odom was down on the sideline instead of the press box where he normally is.
Mm-hmm.
Missing that head coach. But, we were still going to it was a bad shot. Those times, but, the offense didn't play perfect. But, in these other games where we win, when we go that 7-7 early on the first quarter,
mm-hmm.
That defense of some of the games where we win would stop opposing team's offense and give the ball back,
I agree.
We kind of to get on top first, but we just were behind and never weren't behind.
Yeah, that's true. And I agree with what you said. I mean, we did tie it up, but we never did get ahead in the game. And, with exactly what we were saying, we didn't have Pittman on the sideline for this game. And there was an instance in this game where it was like, we needed to decide whether we're going to go for it in the fourth or whether we were going to, punt the ball away. And I believe I was advocating myself watching the game like I wanted to get aggressive. But I realized after we did that, and it didn't work out. Like, it was the wrong move. It was just the wrong coaching move, and it shouldn't have been made. We should have punted the ball away. Then we could have possibly pinned them, could possibly maybe got a stop, or at least we would have put them deep into their territory and had the chance of controlling the field, and we decided not to do that, and it really cost us a whole lot. And in all honesty, looking back on that, I think Pittman would have went a different direction. And looking back on his other games, I don't think he would have went for it on that fourth. I think he would have punted it.
Yeah, I don't know what Odom's MO was at Missouri when he was the coach on decisions like that. I wonder if he was, or if that's a pre-thing, like, hey, in this situation, Pittman's already got it, or Sam's probably, Barry, you make the decision, you know what I mean? And maybe, I don't know. But, yeah, and I would have liked to seen last week it worked. We had a 4th and 1 and, got behind center, and Franks actually had a quarterback sneak for the first time. It worked, and we didn't do it again. We tried to pass, which Burks was open, but
yeah,
there's more things bad that can happen on a passing play when you can just go ahead and get that first down with Franks.
That's
if
a
you're
great
going to do
point.
something like that, you know what I mean?
That's a
but just
great point.
maybe fourth, yeah.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Like, why take the risk? Risk mitigation is part of football. A lot of people don't understand that. It's not all about, getting the big plays. And the big plays are great. They're fun, but there's always risk involved. And when you don't have the elite players to make those big plays happen, you get yourself in a situation. Unless you're fucking Florida and you can just throw the ball to you can just throw it up in the air and they're gonna go damn catch it. Somebody's gonna catch it. Don't matter. Hell, I could pass the ball to those receivers.
Yeah, those guys. And it's year 3 in Mullins as head coach for that program. So they've kind of got already an offensive system set up, and these guys that we have been playing for Chad Morris the last couple of years, and it's now learning something that we can score in. And yeah, like you're saying, explosive plays. I said that. Well, we had those first 280 yards, but that didn't mean we were going to drive the ball the rest of the game. Explosive plays are nice, but just get the first down. I mean, if like a pretty high percentage,
yeah,
especially if you're going for it, then and keep the drive going and keep the let the defense rest. I mean, there's break that play out the next play.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And then you see, and I'm just going to go over this a little bit different in this game because the scoring sucks here, honestly, and I don't want to go over it the way we traditionally do and break it down in that manner.
Yeah.
But you see, Woods getting a touchdown pass. You see Traylon Smith getting a touchdown pass. You see, rush. You see Rakeem Boyd with a touchdown rush. You see Mike Woods with the pass. You see us getting out there and making some stuff happen and getting some scores right all throughout the game, all the way through every quarter. Just fighting really hard, trying to get back in it, trying to win this game. I mean, offensively, we're not being let down at all. But at the same time, every time we score, they score twice.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like that looks nice, but when you're back, your team scores or opposing team scores right after that, you kind of just, that's just got, mitigated or just, break even. What the hell was that? You know what I mean? So
yeah. By the third quarter, you're sitting back in this game, and you're like, it hits that 42-21 mark, and you're like, well, it's done. It's over. It's going to be very hard to come back with this in the fourth quarter, and it just gets worse and worse, and it's just...
63 is too much. It doesn't matter who, you know what I mean?
Man, it's just way too much. It's just... goodness.
Yeah, we've got to definitely get better than that. But they're just better than us this year, man. There's not really much else we could.
You go back and look at it. Also, you go back and look at it. We both had 208 rushing yards.
Yeah,
both teams.
I like the way our offense is running the ball.
We had 250 passing yards, not too bad, but we could have a lot better than that. And they have 385. Goodness gracious.
Yeah, that's.
Then you look at the total, though. I mean, it's not way off. I mean, 458 total offense to 593. They were just they had short fields. They were just able to convert easily. They just never, I didn't feel like they were ever backed up into their own territory,
Yeah, I mean, even Frank's, like you're saying, 250. He he had a couple touchdowns, no interceptions again. And he's 15 out of 19, He's only got a couple pass incompletions, but a solid game by him, but just wasn't enough on some of these. We were horrible. The third down conversions, they were 9 out of 12 on our defense, so we couldn't get them off the field. I think we were 3 out of something on third downs, couldn't keep the drives going. And but against it, like if we have this effort against LSU on Saturday against their defense, you know what I mean? We're going to win the game.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And what's the love affair with Boyd? Right, like Boyd's doing okay. I mean, he's playing, but golly, Smith's the guy, and I think everybody's got to recognize this. And I've been saying this for quite some time, but I think this game sets it apart. 118 yards, 14 yards, average per carry. I mean, he is just a better running back, and that's okay. It's okay. I mean, Boyd's really good. Gives us double-headed monster, right? But we need to start utilizing them in such a way where Smith is getting the majority of the carries, not Boyd.
Yeah, it's got to be flip flopped on that. I mean, you like Rakeem, like on his touchdown run, I think 12 or so yards out. He's tough and working the holes and scores. You know what I mean? But he hadn't had that big. His first couple of years, he had this couple like 70-yard runs, 60-yard runs, big plays, and he hadn't had anything longer than about 13, 15-yard gain this year.
Yeah.
Thus far, and just Smith has, I mean, like you're saying, 14.8 average against Florida, which is incredible, and only 8 carries. I mean, he's got a chance to break it against those secondaries, and that, you know what I mean? Like that's in when that's a big play, like when it's 21-7, but you pull within 21-14 after that touchdown run. So I mean, that's a huge play in a SEC game, but he's got to get more carries and he's got to get more touch. We got to have just more touches all around. I mean, Franks has only thrown 19, so it's not like 30, and I'd like to see more than 32 run attempts. So we've got to have longer drives. We've got to see more chances to get the ball in these guys' hands.
Yeah, I think we could. I don't know. I don't think the play calling's been horrible. I think we're pretty much a 50-50 team, and I think we try to take advantage of whatever the defense gives us, which I like to see that, it seems like we do something a little bit different in every game. But like you said, at the same time, man, we got to, we got to get the ball in Smith's hand. We got to get it in Boyd's hand. We got to do that in different ways, with some plays that are kind of, ingenuitive, I guess, at this point in the year. You've had time to kind of work on your misdirections and your traps and things like that. And that's what I want to see. I want to see more than just, trying to run a power through the A gap. I'd like to see, a trap through the B gap, right? I'd like to see, some sweeps and stuff like that. I'd like to see some, to pull some guards a little bit, get them out, and maybe even in the flats from time to time.
Yeah. Yeah, I was doing a little bit. Man, Treylon looks like an NFL back right now. I mean, some of his games, I was thinking, like, use Rakeem close to the goal line, but I mean, Treylon in that Auburn game is what kind of sticks out. He was catching it out of the backfield. You know what I mean? Getting him more in space, and that's what you're talking about. Getting him instead of just the same old, A gap for trying to punch it through with him. But
and misdirection too. I mean, let's pull our line to the left or run to the right. Stuff like that.
Well, something you brought up a couple weeks ago was bringing both Boyd and Treylon on the field together.
Yeah, I definitely think you should. I think they should both be on the field at the same time as much as possible, in my opinion. Because then you got 2 threats you have to account for, plus Franks, who's a bit of a threat running the ball himself. Yeah. That's 3 running threats you got there. If you're going to play that style of ball, I think that's what you do. If it's up to me, we'd be in a power I.
Yeah. But that would get the field more, especially with De'Vion Warren going out for the season, losing a receiving option. That'd be nice to get them both on field. I don't know if they're worried about, because I mean, our backup running back situation behind them isn't powerful. We've had some, I think, deflections, or I don't know, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Things going on, but I'd still like to see it.
Well, the punter booted it a couple times, pretty good. So you got to give him credit, putting his foot in it. So
yeah, a couple inside the 20. I mean, that's what.
Can't ask for more than that. I don't know.
Yeah, not really a whole lot to say, man.
I mean, you got Morgan leading 15 tackles, and that don't even, like, you're looking at this, and I'm just thinking, like, golly, these numbers don't even sound like us this year,
No.
Catlon with 12 tackles, Fouché with 9, and then you drop right there, boom, and you're going to 7s and 5s and 4s. You got Bumper Pool only getting 7 tackles. I mean, Brown's got 5, I don't know. Oh, we just had a tough time matching up against this team. Gregory got a sack.
Yeah, that was nice to see. I think it was only big, and then tackle for loss as well. But that's it, 1 sack.
Got that
You know what I mean?
interception.
You don't see any forced fumbles. You know
No.
what I mean?
Catalan got that interception, and we got that sack. And, I mean, that was about it. We didn't really even like break up. You know what I mean? There wasn't a lot of like hurries or anything. We just had a tough time. It was just a tough game for our defense. I don't know if they were just like, I don't know, something was going on, and maybe it's like you said. Maybe it's because coach was on the sideline standing in the box. Maybe that threw that off. But I mean, golly, at some point it just seems like they just had a really bad game. And
Yeah, it was awful. Yeah. I don't know if that
this just ain't the team to have a bad game against,
No.
right? Like if it was
No, that should be-
Vanderbilt or something.
Yeah, maybe the SEC gives us Vanderbilt or South Carolina. You know what I mean? Anybody really else besides Georgia and Florida, but
God,
we gave them our effort though, man. They stuck us with those games. You know what I mean? And
yeah.
we did not do so well. But we would have went 2-0 against Vandy or Kentucky or South Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, whatever. Well, what's done is done, man. I
Yeah,
think we can get
true.
better and beat Florida the next time we play them, though.
Yeah. My man Brooks Jr., I didn't see him out there slobber knocking people all over the place. Like usually, like when we're playing a good game, he is just out there just laying in the people, like taking them off their feet, like just ridiculous hard hits. And you didn't see him doing that in this game.
Yeah, somebody's got to make some more plays than just Morgan and Catalan. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
They've been really good for us all year, but you gotta have more than that.
Yeah, no, I agree. I don't know, man. I guess that's my take on it. They beat the hell out of us from beginning to end, and I really don't got an excuse or anything I can say about it.
No,
So.
no, I don't have nothing else to say. I mean, I have nobody to blame but ourselves. So.
No.
We just took it. We got our ass whipped, and that's
I
it.
hate Florida, man.
Yeah, well, I'm done with that, man. So whenever you're ready to move on, I'm with you.
I can't stand them. Yeah, let's get the hell away from that 60. I don't think we said it's a 63-35 loss. Let's just move the hell away from that. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
But we get to go play LSU, and that ought to be an interesting game. I think, this, and this is something I was talking about before. Like you have in Florida the team that LSU had last year, and you think about like who LSU lost, like Burrow, Jefferson, Chase, Edwards, losing all of them, this year, and who do they get back out of that is Terrence Marshall, a wide receiver, right? Just one guy. And he's out there tearing it up this year. Don't get me wrong. I mean, he is out there making it happen on offense. He's had a hell of a run this year. But that's it. Like that's their offense. So you got to double team him. You got to shut him down. You got to do what you got to do. Every game I've seen, he's been on fire though.
Yeah, he's got 9 receiving touchdowns already, and they've only played 5 games. They played one less game than us.
Mm-hmm.
So you shut him down.
You shut him down, you win the game, honestly. And I think a lot of other teams have figured this out.
Yeah, I think so too. The last couple, actually, he really tore up Missouri. I mean, my goodness.
Oh yeah.
But the last game they played against Auburn, he gets 4 catches for 28 yards. So there's some precedent this season for taking him out of it. Nobody else.
Yeah.
Caught a receiving touchdown in that game anyway. And we know, we were scoring all over the place on Auburn. You know what I mean? So.
Yeah. So that's the good thing. The bad thing is that they've been on their bye week. They've been able to get everything straightened up. They're totally prepared for us and just get ready to beat us while we're out there playing people. We've lost our head coach to COVID, and there's talks that there might be a massive COVID outbreak when the test comes back today, this afternoon, tonight, as we're speaking. They're probably talking about it within the facilities right now. Everybody's probably getting their snack pizza, fixing to head off to bed. So it is what it is, man. I mean, look, these guys, they went and played Mississippi State, and they got beat 34-44. Then they beat Vanderbilt 41-7. But goodness, it's Vanderbilt, right? They take a loss to Missouri, and that was 41-45. Then they go down to South Carolina and beat them 52-24. So I mean, they are putting up like some big numbers. I mean, that's the thing. But goodness, I mean, when they lose, they're losing big. Like Auburn beats them 48-11. You know, and then how lucky are they? They get the Alabama game postponed instead of playing us. Goodness. And now we get to go play them. And you look at the stats now because they didn't play Alabama, and it looks like they're a better team than us, whenever you look at the side-by-sides. But the truth is that they're not. Those stats are inflated because we just got off of playing, Georgia and Florida, right? And that has made our stats look worse than they are.
Yeah, I mean, they've played Mississippi State, which we know we shut them down. Vanderbilt, my goodness. And then they give up, and then they play Missouri, South Carolina, and then they play a Chad Moore defense. No wonder they're, you know what I mean? Their scoring defenses. I mean, they still give up more than us. And we've played A&M, Florida, and Georgia already. You know what I mean? And Ole Miss scores quite a few points themselves. And LSU hadn't played, Ole Miss or A&M yet. And we're still, our eighth, giving up 31 points a game, eighth in the SEC. It should be higher.
Mm-hmm.
Feels like it should. Turnover margin were 1, so.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, I got some. Sorry, there's some moron shooting fireworks off in the dang neighborhood.
That's what I was about to say. I heard that. What the hell?
Yeah, it's crazy, man.
Golly.
I'm gonna go look out the front door. I'll be right back. Keep talking, Tim.
All right. All right. Well, Chad's going to check out these fireworks. Wasn't prepared for that. All right. Well, let's see here. Got here. What's going on? No, immediately stopped once he left, though. Maybe nothing. Oh, here he comes.
I hope you can't talk.
It's pretty bad, but I did.
There ain't no cops out there or anything, so it can't be too bad, whatever the hell's going on. I didn't see anybody walking up and down the street or whatnot, so I'm just going to let it roll. I guess it was fireworks. It was fireworks or a small, low caliber handgun, one of the two. So
might be used as evidence, man. That's not funny. I'm serious.
Jesus, man. Oh, man.
We've got tape of it.
We got tape. We know exactly when it happened. We were live streaming. You can go back and look at the timeline.
That's amazing. Wow, what a turn this podcast at. No, I think it's fireworks. I think everybody's okay.
Yeah, no, everybody's fine in my neighborhood. So, anyways,
yeah, we're good.
I don't know about this LSU thing, man. Like I said, the stats when you do the side by side comparison, they're just not true, right? Because of just how things have shaken out.
I think it's true for LSU as far as the defense things. They really are.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they lost their offensive coordinator, they still got their offensive coordinator, but they lost Joe Brady to the NFL, who was their passing game coordinator from last year. All their players, like you're mentioning, they changed their defensive coordinators to Bo Pelini.
That's what I was going to say. The only coaches they have there, Orgeron, Pelini, and then, what's the running backs coach?
Kevin Falk, I saw.
Yeah, Falk, yeah.
For him when he used to run for him.
Mm-hmm. And that's the only ones that. That's the only ones that I think that are like decent coaches. Honestly, like you would be like, oh, I'd like to have that coach at like my program. Like, if you were free to pick any of the coaches at LSU right now, which coach are you going to take?
I don't know, man.
I mean, Pelini, obviously.
I wouldn't take Pelini the way they're looking this year.
I mean, even like a defensive backs coach or something.
Yeah, okay. I just like Odom, man, so much. So
let's let him be a student assistant and just break down film.
Yeah, it's fine, man.
There's
a reason Orgeron trusted him for him. There's a reason he's had it. It's crazy, but his defense is
Dude, Felipe Franks, if I told you last year at this time that our quarterback next year is going to have 1,678 yards and still have 3 games left to play, you just slapped me in the face.
Yeah, and it should be you include 2 more games non-conference that he could have thrown for like 400 yards in. We didn't get any of those games to just like pad the stats.
Oh, that's true.
It's incredible. I mean, he's
done a great job. I mean, and I think he's gonna come in here and do well against these Tigers. So I don't know. We'll see. I don't know. So what do we got going here? We got some big old linemen, of course. I mean, you always get that when you're playing coach, right? You got this Cameron Wire and this Ingram and this Shanahan and Hines and DeClaris, all of them, juniors and seniors, and all of them at least 320 pounds. So, well, I'm sorry, Wire is 311. He's the smallest one in the bunch. So, anyway, so you're going up against a massive line. So you got to figure out like how is our defense going to penetrate that line? And we went up against, Georgia. That was a massive line. We had issues. We went up against Florida's line. We had issues. We went up against, was it Auburn's? They had a big line, I think it was, and we had issues. So, I see that happening again, and hopefully, we'll be able to get back there to the quarterback and get some pressure on him. I think we should, I mean, even though they don't have anybody special at quarterback, you still got to get back here and get some pressure on, make them uncomfortable,
Yeah. He's got big, experienced linemen. I think Orgeron's 25-1 when they have a rusher who gets 100 yards. I mean, so we can't allow that offensive line to open up a bunch of holes for them. And we've seen in these games we've lost. We've just against Florida we were getting ripped apart in the past, but we've seen these games where they're just able to. We didn't exactly stop their run either. You know what I mean? And they do have their backup quarterback. They lost Miles Brennan for the season, so you're dealing with 2 freshmen right out of high school, Finley and Johnson. But it doesn't help our defense that they've got an experienced line. If they had any kind of a younger inexperienced like some of their talented players, you know what I mean? So it allows those guys to kind of get some time.
But if you can just get back here and get any kind of pressure on those young quarterbacks, that's going to be key. Just anything at all. I think you bring some blitzes, you do some stuff to confuse them. You mix up your coverages a little bit. With a game like this, playing inexperienced quarterbacks like this as a defensive coach, you could really have fun when you got an experienced defense, which we really kind of have right now. So you can really have fun and kind of get out there and run some different packages that you normally maybe wouldn't run or wouldn't see, just to confuse them. I don't know if you remember Reggie Herring and the organized chaos that we used to run, but I'd really like to see something like come out of that a page from that playbook coming out against these young quarterbacks.
Yeah, you got to take advantage of that. You get pressure on one of those young quarterbacks and then cover up Terrence Marshall. You've got a recipe for success and get some turnovers. Like when these games that we've won, we haven't had a defensive touchdown in a little bit. Could this be the game?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, I expect our defense to. Yeah, I bet we score. Like I said before, you don't see defensive scoring all the time, so you just can't put that into the playbook most of the time. But then again, whenever you play a team that is more on your level, you can start to say, okay, we're gonna probably get a pick six. We're gonna probably take one back to the house. And this is a type of game where you can say, well, we're probably gonna get a defensive score. I think you could count at least one defensive score throughout this game, especially as well as our defense has been playing. And let's be honest, our defense has a lot of pride this year. A lot more pride than they had last year and any other year. And they just got punched in the mouth. They just got their feelings hurt. They just played probably the worst game they've played all year. And they're not going to sit back and come back out in this game and allow that to stand. They're going to do everything they can to make the corrections so that they're playing a better game. They didn't play as aggressive in the last game as they had all year. And I see that aggressiveness coming back in this game because they're going to be pissed off.
Yeah, pissed off helps. Yeah, I totally agree with you, Chad. This offense, we can definitely force some turnovers on.
Mm-hmm.
Games we've won, that's what we've done. You know what I mean? Games where we've had defensive touchdowns, 6 interceptions, forced fumbles. And then recoveries after that. It'd be nice to see a scoop and score sometime too. And I'm not relying on it, man, but it does seem it seems the trend of the season, would say like we're due for one. You know what I mean? And LSU seems like the right opponent for it to happen.
Yeah, yeah. They're out there running that, like halfway speed, hurry up, offense that a lot of these teams are running. So, you'll see a similar offense, actually, what we're running, but a little bit slower, and that's in design, I think. But then, their defense, you're going to be going up your traditional 4-man front, 3-2 or cover 1, where you go and 4-1 in the back. So that's what you're going to be looking at coming out of the gate against this defense. And you really won't see that defensive front change up much at all. You see them stay in that 4-man front pretty regularly with the 3 linebackers, and that'll be pretty standard for them. They don't really run a nickel too much off the edge or anything.
Okay, that's good stuff.
Yeah. So, anyway, who they got? They got this Gay for tackle. They got Evans at tackle. They got Logan at tackle, and then they got Anthony at the end. And all of them are, it's pretty mixed. You got a couple of seniors, you got a freshman and a junior. So you got, the ability to take advantage, especially the left side of that line where you don't have, as much experience out there. So,
yeah, absolutely.
So when we're looking at their linebackers, you got Bakersville, Clark, and Cox who runs out there, and that's juniors and 1 senior. So they're good. They're not bad, especially Cox. He's made some stuff happen this year, so he's been fun to watch.
Yeah, a couple of those guys like Clark, one of their leading tacklers, got a sack. A couple leads the team in quarterback hurries. A couple of the pretty good linebackers, man.
Yeah, and over at cornerback, you got Singletary, Ward out there, and then Harris and Stevens at safety and free safety. So.
Yeah, Stevens their leading tackler for the year. 36 tackles, 4 tackles. 2.5 sacks. 2.5 sacks from the safety position.
Yep. And the interesting thing, too, is like you got a junior and a senior at safety. It's like every position on defense, you got some experience, but then you got also some young kids out there. So there's areas to take advantage of, or, certain people that we can definitely take advantage of out there at defense where they're not as Well, they lost a lot of players last year. Let's just be honest. They just lost a lot of players.
Their sophomores and juniors just became juniors and seniors. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
That they may not have had, as obviously as much experience as the starters from last year, but they've played sparingly, and against in that championship team last year, where they were getting quite a bit of mop up duty in games that had leads in. So it's still
Yeah, absolutely. Well,
sorry, man. They're a talented team, man. I mean, there's nothing. I mean, it's just LSU's just got naturally, good players coming from Louisiana that they were loaded with, but it's just not the same. I mean, it's just totally crazy that last year this time we were 40 or something 40-point underdogs to them, and this year it did before all the COVID stuff. We were 2.5-point favorites on them. But it's crazy what a difference this team. This is the time to smack LSU around. You know what I mean? I just don't want them to just, they haven't played since Halloween. 3 weeks since they played. Don't want them to just be fresh and ready to. They're having players only meetings and all this, and just fresh and get everything taken care of. And if we're having issues, I don't want them to just come together for their best game of the year. You know what I mean?
And what I hope we see, and what I'd really like to see from these. From these players is an understanding of what the Golden Boot really means, right? And understanding that this is a damn rivalry, not Missouri. It's this one, And there's a lot of players that came together to make this happen. A lot of players on the LSU side, a lot of players on the Arkansas side that wanted to see this rivalry, and it came about from the players and the fans, not from an administrative person passing it down like that stupid Missouri battle line rivalry. This is an actual rivalry. And I know some folks in LSU would say, oh, we don't consider it a rivalry. It's that and that. Well, yeah, your players shouldn't have damn signed up for it, whenever our players, whenever they're signed up for it, our ex-players, and, you did, so now it's a damn rivalry. And I think a lot of that just comes back to the fact that, I don't know, they're kind of scaredy cats sometimes down there, around Baton Rouge.
Oh, they are,
little
for
kitty
sure.
Cats.
They are, man. I mean, you've got all that talent down in New Orleans. I mean, they've only, just... they should have won more than they have. They're always disappointing, besides every once in a while, like last year.
Yeah, they know that Tulane is fixing to take over the state and recruiting, and it's just a matter of time. Mm-hmm. Poor guys. It'd be rough to be in that situation.
Yeah, it feels like Orgeron kind of had a magic year. Cruise on by,
Exactly.
Yeah, it's definitely a rivalry, man. I do wish it was the Friday after Thanksgiving. Eating leftover turkey, you know what I mean? And
I can't believe they changed it.
Doing that during the game, sleep after late night, hanging out and stuff, get to sleep late. Game comes out 1:30.
Mm-hmm.
But no, I mean, playing them almost there. But yeah, I'm ready to get the boot, man.
Got to get it.
I think you'll see our effort pretty high, man. I think you'll see our effort just ready to get it, man. I think we've got some good momentum this year. And
yeah. Well, you heard about the player that, and I don't know if you guys heard about this. It's important. We got to talk about it because we're fixing to play these cats, and the coach is having to deal with all this and all the players and everything, and it's important to bring up. So you had a player that beat the hell out of his girl, like that old boy from the, what was it, Alabama Redstone rehab. Well, I go upside Sally's head. Anyway, you had an old boy just beat the hell out of his girl, and he texted the dang athletic department and let them know that it happened, and then they called him to double check that it happened. And then when they called him, he said, "No, I didn't do it." And then they said, "Okay, well that's cool," and they didn't pursue it any further. And that was this fella Ashbury that decided he didn't want to pursue it any further. Well, it's a violation of federal law. Because whenever you're a teacher or a coach or anything at a school, and you find out that somebody has been physically, sexually violent at all to somebody else, you have to report that immediately, or it is it's literally against federal law.
Yeah, how is it checking to make sure it happened? And when he heard that, he just covered it up, man.
Just covered
One
it
thing
up.
to have it happen, but at least admit it. What a wrong it was.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they've got all kinds of things just trying to cover it up, and like more than one occasion on things in the report. So it just doesn't look like a good.
No.
So I don't know. With everything else swirling around, man, it just seems like fast falling program down there, and we're fast rising. You know what I mean? Better than expected.
Yeah, no, I know exactly what you mean. I mean, I feel sorry for him, and I feel worse for that girl that had to be abused there. But golly, come on, you just do the damn right thing. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it is what it is. So, anyway, it's definitely got to be affecting the team, though. I mean, you got a football player, he's going through all that kind of stuff. You got the administration that's going through it. I'm sure the coach is feeling pressure on this. All the coaches are feeling pressure on it. So, yeah, it's one of those situations where I don't know. You just gotta do what you gotta do. I guess you just it's gonna wear you down. I feel like it's gonna have some sort of an impact on how you play on game day. That's all.
Yeah, and when I was saying 3 weeks for a bye week, it's like, well, that's also 3 weeks to sit around and think about everything. You know what I mean? All these, you've had opt-outs. Jamar Chase was going to come back and to have a second option as a receiver, and he opted out before the season. Had another defensive player opt out. You know what I mean? It just seems like, what can you do? It's gonna be hard to live up to that championship team, man. That whole season.
Exactly.
But so those 3 weeks off, they're just kind of stewing about it. I don't know if that's good. You know what I mean? I don't know if are they ready to? I mean, they beat Vanderbilt in South Carolina, and that's it. They let a Chad Morris offense points on you.
To them, they're like,
feel good.
Yeah,
and last time.
Yeah, and they're like a damn raccoon in the corner too. Honestly, because they've only beat those two teams, and now you're fixing to have to pick them up. And we've had a little bit more success. We're feeling a little bit better about ourselves. We're going into this game, with our head held high, and hopefully we're not walking in with the expectation of a win. Because if you look at our year, it's been lose, win, lose, win, lose, win, lose, question mark. And hopefully we're not walking in with that expectation of a win, because that's just how the year's been going, right? Although it would be nice to lose to Missouri and beat the hell out of Alabama.
Yeah, I would take that. I would take losing to Missouri again. I really want to beat Missouri because it's been a little bit. Odom kicked our ass up the last few years. And it's time to take back the manufactured battle line rivalry. When could just be. I mean, I still get upset. I say it every time, man. But it's just so easy to be Battle of the Ozarks.
Mm-hmm.
Not even. Well, I mean, I guess not. You know what I mean. But like you're saying, I'd like for the players and not the ADs to come up with it. You know what I mean?
I know exactly what you're saying.
Fans and former players, current players to be like, oh, okay, let's when it first would have happened. But you're right, man. The more I think about it, it's just. And then trying to replace that LSU game with Missouri on the last day. The day after Thanksgiving. This year it's just on Saturday.
Man, with everything we know, I guess we got to make a pick at this point. We've went through everything. We've talked about them. We've made fun of them. I mean, about the only thing we haven't done is thrown some sort of a corny corn dog joke in there. Talked about how it smells like corn dogs and stuff down there because all the oil refineries.
It does, though, man. I mean,
It does. Could you imagine?
They're drinking drive-through, getting daiquiris through the drive-through and shit, and driving around. You know what I mean? They're not worried about it. It just probably makes them hungry, man. You know what I mean? Does sound good. But I bet Sonic kills it on those 50-cent corn dog days. You know what I mean?
Man, I could tear up a 50-cent corn dog right now.
I could too. So it sounds good. I wouldn't want my town smelling like it. I'd rather have the fresh air of,
Oh God. You wouldn't want to actually smell. You wouldn't want to actually smell like the Sonic workers.
Oh.
From the moment you roll out of bed and open your door and step outside till the moment you come back inside. And maybe your air filter ain't good enough to get it all out.
I appreciate the Sonic workers, man.
Eventually you'd get used to it like anything. They probably don't even know that it smells like corn dogs down there.
No, surely not. I'm sure they're like, no, what are you talking about?
They'll be taking an ocean trip going, oh, it smells so wonderful out here.
Yes. Smell the fresh Gulf breeze.
It smells like dead fish and red tide. What the hell are you talking about? Oh, so anyway, what do you think, man? And remember, last week we...
Oh, don't say this.
We got carried away, man.
Oh, you're going to talk me out of it. Damn it.
We did.
All right, let's say we've got, nobody's missing, any COVID that we really need. I'm going to say Arkansas 45, LSU 20.
45-20. Golly. Going in there and tearing it up.
That's like if Franks is out and stuff, you know what I mean? Like there's some, but I'm just going to, if everything's good to go, man.
I feel like Arkansas can win any game against any team that's comparable. I feel like LSU is very much comparable to Arkansas this year. I think our talent level is very similar this year. And I think, we can beat LSU anytime our talent level is similar. I'm worried about the COVID situation, but we're going to go with this like no COVID, everybody's there. I'm saying Arkansas 28, LSU 14. Defense shows up, does their thing.
I like it.
I don't think those freshman quarterback can beat our defense the way that the way it happened last week. I don't think it can happen. I don't think they can do it. I don't think they're good enough. I think you're going to see some interceptions. I think you're going to see some pick sixes. That's my prediction.
Oh, yeah. I wouldn't mind seeing Burks, have a punt return touchdown. You know what I mean? Finally get a good special teams return like that for just scoring all kinds of different ways. You know what I mean? And
yeah.
Keep the ball and get on top of them. Just run it. Keep running down the throats, man. Just like, all right, just keep it away from you.
What if we went out there and we lined up with Smith and Boyd in the backfield? We split the quarterback. We had two wide receivers spread out, ready to run various routes to the outside. And then we either handed the ball off to those two or we play actioned it. And then off our play actions, we ran safety routes with the running backs to either side, flares or whatnot, so you could just dump the ball off if they brought a blitz. And if they didn't bring a blitz, you just sit back there and just chunk it downfield. I'd like to see some stuff like that.
Nice. Sounds good to me.
Probably won't see it though, but that's what I'd like to see. That's what I think we're missing.
I think we're gonna win, man. Maybe the 45-20 of mine is a little outrageous. Right after your speech about, I'm just saying if everything's hunky dory with it.
I want to see
everything.
I want to see Boyd at fullback. I want to see Smith at halfback, and I want to line up in a power I. It's just, I don't know. Maybe they've tried it at practice. Maybe it didn't work out. Maybe the line's just way too small because of the last coach we had and that joker and everything, and it just can't be done. Maybe that's why they're not doing it, but I'd love to see it.
It doesn't help, man. It doesn't help that, like,
If you got a small line, though, you know what that means? That means you got a fast line. So if you can make them tough enough, you can run traps and just ear haul the piss out of somebody. Just let them through and just hit them right, right from the side, blind side. And they'll never see it coming, man. And just run the ball right up that gap.
Yeah, the offensive line has definitely improved. You can tell Pittman and Brad Davis too, O-line coach, like improvement on the offensive line this year, because the last couple games too against A&M, Tennessee, and Florida, just running it for a couple 100 yards in each. Really, really having some really good positive plays quite a bit.
Yeah,
running the ball. So, it'll get better. This is the worst. Pittman, though, man, it's an offensive line guy. You expect it to always just to grow to be one of those lines you see. Big
exactly.
325 across the board, juniors and seniors. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I know exactly what you're talking about.
So I think their efforts, but yeah, it could.
Well, I don't know. I guess we made our picks. We went through it. We told everybody what we thought. I think we can win it. I really do. I don't know. It's a winnable game. It's one of the most winnable games we have this year. It's really a must win. We got to win this game. If we don't win it, it's not the worst thing in the world. And obviously, we were poking fun at this last week, and it's not national championships. Not going to be in the cards for us this year after that Florida lost. We did have a chance prior to that if we would have ran the table. There's no way they could have left us out. But at this point, we're not getting in. We can throw that out the window. Goodness. And that sucks. That always sucks when that time of the year hits. There's always that point in the year where it's like, man, it's mathematically impossible at this point, No, and that time sucks.
Yeah, it's just like, no, even if Bama loses one, they'd have to lose. We figured out Alabama could lose a game or two, or that time's or whoever's the other team of the year. It always happens, man. You're always, if you're still in it, one loss or two. And then with Auburn last week, we're like, well, what if we'll count Auburn as a win, in the selection. But
here's the thing I think you got to think about, and I don't know if the coaches have talked to the players about this. I would be at this point. I'd be talking to the players about this, but I think we need 2 wins to go to a bowl game. I think we need at least 5 wins to go to a bowl game. I think you get 2 more wins, I think you got a real possibility of going to a bowl game. And I think, LSU and Missouri, that's our wins. If we can beat those guys, well, that's going to be an interesting matchup. Arkansas, whoever in a bowl game, that is went 5-5 in their conference, and it's like, which conference is better, right? And that would be interesting. But I think you gotta get close to that, right? For a bowl, you gotta get close to that. So I know they threw the 6 win out the window. We talked about that last week. And I know that's happened. Yeah. But you got to get close, right? You got to get at least 5. You think we could go with 4? If we won against LSU or Missouri and we lost, only won one more game the rest of the year, could we still go to a bowl game with 4 wins?
Well, I think the problem, I think you're right when you say 5 wins, guarantees, as long as there's not just a massive, cancellation of bowls.
Mm-hmm.
But I think 4 wins, maybe, if there's not going to be as many bowls this year, not as many spots in a normal year, or not really a normal year, but the normal amount of bowl games being played, you could for sure get in with 4, because what would be considered 4 SEC wins when you got a non-conference schedule?
Yeah.
That would have said we would have went 7-5 this year. Yeah. You know what I mean? Or something like that if you get 4 SEC wins. So I think I was trying to look for a.
I think you beat LSU and Missouri. I think you're getting a bowl game somewhere. You're going to one of those traditional bowl games that's not going to cancel just because they don't give a shit, right? Like Cotton Bowl or Music Bowl or Liberty City or something like that. There's some of those that haven't canceled in years. They're going to be there's some that are going to be we didn't cancel in 1919 and we're not canceling in 2020.
Yeah, let's see what ESPN had the last time they had bowl projections. They had one of them said Indiana versus Arkansas in the Outback Bowl in Tampa,
Ooh,
and one of them said
golly.
Texas versus Arkansas in the Texas Bowl.
Oof,
So it's like I would take either of those matchups.
that'd be great. Well, did
Like
they
that,
have us at 5 wins? What
it
they?
doesn't it didn't say
Oh,
it just has like just
I'll take them. Outback Bowl is a cool bowl.
so that's kind of that's kind of like saying that's the kind of quality of teams we're going to play. We're going to play some big conference teams.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And I think if everything's good, they'll be played. Well, if they get all these games in, can be played during the holiday break,
Yeah.
maybe with no students, or if colleges go virtual, all offline or off campus in the spring, or at least to start it off, then there'll probably be a good possibility of bowl games.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Just
So,
everybody can play. Yeah, I don't know what I was saying there, but
no, I get,
I love bowl games.
you get into these hypotheticals and theoreticals and so on and so forth, and that's, it's what it's all about. That's what sports about. And if you don't get into those things, I don't think you're really enjoying sports the way you could be, honestly.
I don't think you could either.
So,
And we're fans. I mean, I don't know what to tell you. I mean, we're alumni. We're fans.
hell yeah, we are.
I don't know what to
Shit.
tell you.
Ex-employee.
Oh yeah, man. Well, don't make it sound like you got fired, or one time.
Oh, no, I knew too much to get fired. Can't fire the insiders, man.
No. Oh, man.
Well, let's see. So we got, all right, so we made our prediction there. So what, all right, is anything else up that I haven't thought about? Like, we're not doing anything with hockey. We already talked about the basketball game.
Yeah, we don't.
How they
Okay,
did.
well,
I haven't heard anything new there.
well, okay. Here's the basketball real quick, because there's no way to know because we play Mississippi Valley State next Wednesday night.
Okay.
But there's nothing about Mississippi Valley State, so there's not really much I can say to preview them. We can do a game prediction, but I have no idea what they're going to look like. I'm excited to see us. The podcast following the next one after that basketball game. We'll really be able to start talking some basketball once we see a real game being played.
Yeah, we should definitely do some predictions.
It's exciting though. It kind of came up, yeah. I guess we could do it the schedule prediction.
Oh yeah.
I don't know what if we're recording, Tuesday night or something, and then we kind of preview it.
Look at us. Look at there. These guys play Missouri State, Alabama A&M, Wyoming. They're going to play at Pine Bluff, Arkansas. That'll be nice, man, to see how much more we can beat them by than Pine Bluff, Arkansas beats them by. UAPB is going to wear them out too, so that'll be fun.
Oh yeah, they got a couple different games.
Well, they got like a little Dungeons and Dragons character for their mascot. It's like
Those are wild, man.
Is it an elf? Is that like an elf or is that
Delta Devil?
Is that a devil?
It's a Delta Devil, yeah, man.
Jesus. What's this roster say? Let's check that shit out.
Playing at Ohio too. At Vanderbilt. They've got a pretty good schedule. And yeah, they play in the SWAC.
They got this junior at 6'7". This is Lois. They got Green at 6'3". He's a senior. They got an older team. Simmons is a senior. He's 5'8" though, so that's gonna be tough. And 5'11". Yeah, their height drops off quick. Hunter, Caleb, freshman. Ooh, yeah, and their experience drops off quick. So they got looks like a junior, 2 seniors, a whole bunch of freshmen. They got 2 guys they got one guy at 6'7", one guy at 6'3", They got one guy at 6'11", so maybe they'll get him out there. Maybe they'll get the 6'5" guy out there. Maybe they'll get Rivers. Maybe they'll get Alliston out there a little bit. But they're going to have a height problem. I mean, they got Kuato. I bet he's some sort of a transfer from somewhere. But Johnson, 6'3", 6'6", you know. Kuato's a sophomore, so, I mean, he might, you know.
Yeah, Caleb Hunter, probably the best player. He was the SWAC Freshman of the Year last year. He's a preseason All-SWAC second team. So let's kind of see where they.
And he's the 5'11" guy, so that you know you got the height elsewhere. It's not really your threat, so that's good.
Well, they're picked by this. I don't know what predicted this on their website, but for 2020-21 SWAC men's basketball predicted order of finish, picked 9th out of 10th in the conference.
Oh, that's not good.
Oh, I expect something big from us.
Yeah, no, I mean, just looking at the amount of experience they got, I mean, that's where I would be like, oof, that's what worries me, right? And then you know, you look at their height, you know, and I hate to be that way, right? I hate to be that guy, right? Now I don't know basketball, but this is just one of the things I've always done when I've looked at different teams or whatnot, and it's just always kind of held true. And I know, you know, some tall guys get, you know, offended sometimes when you talk about, like, you know, they play better basketball because they're tall, but that's just the reality of it. Like, the taller you are,
they're not very good. They do that. You know? Maybe I've said that. Is that what you're saying?
Well, maybe you have said that. So, yeah,
yeah.
I'm just saying, it gives you an advantage when you're closer to the goal. Period. So. And I ain't a short guy either. Just Tim's tall as hell. That's the thing.
Well, after you drink a couple beers before you play, and people say, "Well, you should be able to dunk," or, you know.
Yeah, that's right.
So, I don't know, man. I like basketball.
I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. I agree with you though. That's an interesting team. Lindsey Hunter's the head coach. What do we know about this guy? Anything special?
He played, I think the same Lindsey Hunter that played for the Pistons back in the maybe 90s, kind of early 2000s, that era.
Okay.
But I've got nothing. I like
he was an interim head coach for the Phoenix Suns in the NBA from 16-17. Yeah.
Wow. I've got nothing against Mississippi Valley State. You know what I mean? I hate to have to score 120 on them, but I'm kind of thinking, I don't know.
That's impressive. I mean, that is impressive. He went from the NBA to the college ranks. Coached in the MAC. I mean, that's not a small conference.
Mm-mm.
You're right. Yeah, Detroit Pistons. Yep. So, played with the Toronto Raptors. Man, he's most impressive thing about the team, honestly, in my opinion, so far.
So, he knows basketball, man, when he, played in the NBA. So,
Jesus, Jason, he's from Jackson State. That's where he went to university at. That's cool. That's impressive. That he was able to accomplish all this after playing at Jackson State. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's pretty impressive.
Yeah, it's awesome. And playing or he's coaching for kind of the same SWAC as Jackson State every season. So that's interesting. But he kind of knows the landscape of that conference. And there's some good basketball. But, yeah, it's not a big competition. You don't get noticed as much. Only one team goes to March Madness. You don't get a chance to be on the big stage.
Yep.
So you're probably really good and, good in that conference. One of those really good, like at the end of the year conference tournaments where they're just fighting, like, they're going to be the 16th seed. They're going to have to play the number 1 seed. Top couple teams in the nation. They're still fighting for that spot, that lone spot in their conference to make it to the big dance.
Man, it's going to be fun to play this team. But, yeah, that's really all I got on them. I mean, I go to their cumulative stats to try to give you a breakdown on that. And doesn't really... Oh, it just opened. Well, that took forever. Well, it wasn't working out. All right, so they go... All right, 63 points per game. They let their opponents Score about 89 points per game. Oh, I bet we put 100 on these kids.
Oh wow, yeah.
Yeah. Well, they like to shoot threes. 1.48 in the field, so that'll be fun.
Yeah. It's a team I expect to win big over.
Pretty good with their free throws. 0.648, so yeah, not bad. They rebounded good last year too.
I'm excited to see our team the most, man. You know what I mean? See what the rotation's going to be. And who's the starters? You know what I mean?
It's going to be interesting to see what we got. I mean, we broke the team down before. We talked about them a little bit last week and stuff, and we kind of gave you what we had, but we don't have anything more on the team, right? So you're going to be seeing, a lot of the same things and same stuff that we had talked about in that preseason, basketball game after that was over and we came back and gave you that report. I mean, and that's what you're going to see, right? That's the players you're going to be seeing. And honestly, everybody should be watching this because after this game, we're going to have some stuff to talk about, which will be fun because we'll be able to talk about who's going to be doing what and how they're going to be doing it. And, you'll get to hear Tim do his thing and really dig into the basketball side of things. But what do you think we're going to do offensively when we go out there against these guys, Tim? What do you think we're going to kind of scheme you think might run?
I'm not sure, man. I'd like to see because it's going to be a whole different kind of meshed up what we saw from the red-white game.
Mm-hmm.
As far as, but I expect them to try to play fast and hopefully see a lot better defense and more pressure. You know what I mean, and kind of force the tempo up. But we got quite a bit of players to play, so I think play that way. You know what I mean? I think they can really. I don't know what's Musselman's MO or what he's done in the past on full court pressing, but that'd kind of be nice to see and
get some press action in. Yeah, I'd kind of like to see it. Even the half court would be nice.
But on offense, I don't know, man. I mean, I'd like to see. We've got some. I hate to see it, Chad. I mean, I know last year you're not going to be here. We took quite a few threes in that red-white game. This game shoot a lot of threes. I mean, our 7'3" guy shot. He was 1 for 5 from threes. I'm okay if he can make or shoot 1 or 2, but he's got to start getting inside more, man. You know what I mean? He said I thought in the offseason he said he's working on his sky hook every day. Where was that? Dunk the ball.
If you can do the sky hook and you're not putting it down, that's bullshit, man. That's the best. That is the most indefensible offensive play there is in basketball, and it is one. It's hard, but if you're good at it, you should be hooking it all the time.
Yeah, it was great to see though. I think we will drive to the basket quite a bit. I think you'll see that. I think you'll see a lot of try to take it to the hole because we've got quite a bit of an athletic team. We've got some.
Well, that's what pissed me off last year. Was it's always just shooting crazy ass threes. Just jacking them up, right? And it was like, just take it to the hoop. So I hope you're right. I hope we do.
Well, I feel even getting the ball. I think there should be some more opportunities to get the ball down low too with Jalen Williams, Justin Smith, kind of the transfer from Indiana. He was 9 out of 11. 8 of those 11 attempts are inside. You know what I mean? Whether it be dunks. So we go in that game. Both teams combined are 21 out of 23 from the free throw line. So that's pretty good. So if this team gets to the line, picks up fouls, gets aggressive inside, and then when things, if they close in too much and there's a guy wide open for 3, hey, hit it. But the first opportunity, would love to be, transition off a defensive stop or, we've got the wingspans, we've got the athleticism. Last year we saw one of the best in historical, 3-point percentage defense. So, this team will be, there's no reason not to leave it all out on the floor. You know what I mean? Like last year we were playing 7 guys. Yeah. You know what I mean? Adriel Bailey's playing center at 6'6". We've got some height this year. It's going to enable us to do a lot of things. I don't know. It's going to be interesting the first game. But definitely, I'm thinking we score some points in this game against State.
Yeah, it feels like it's going to be one of those games where you blow them out. We should, honestly. If we're going to have a decent run this year, a decent team, we gotta We got to come out there and blow it out. Golly, man, that is disheartening that they're jacking up those, big guys out there jacking up the threes. I mean, I don't want to see that crap. I don't want to see that. But I mean, when you think about it at a red-white game too, I mean, sometimes it's not. It doesn't feel as, when people say like, oh, it doesn't feel like a game that you gotta win. Like it doesn't feel important. It's not close enough to March Madness or whatever. We got 142 games to play, right? It's like that the red-white game is like the furthest from that, right? It's like, hell, why not shoot it? We're just playing ourselves. We're just out here messing around. If you want to jack it up and have some fun, go ahead. But don't be doing that during a real game.
Yeah, real game playing, Kentucky or even Mississippi Valley State. Every game counts. You know what I mean? Like the defense was lackluster. So what are we going to see when the defenses are real? Yep. I'm excited though, man. People like Moses Moody, man, he's taking his basket a lot, 5 out of free throws. 8 assists from Jalen Tate. So nice to see a point guard. 11 points, 8 assists, plus 5 rebounds. It's an exciting team. JD Notae, of course, just what Desi Seals can do. I'm excited. I'm gonna go Arkansas. I don't want to say we score 100, man. I think it's just gonna be this year, get it all out. I want to say Arkansas 103, Mississippi Valley State 69.
I'll tell you what, man. My teams have been playing really well this year with the pandemic. And I'm going to let that factor in because why the hell not? And we know we're going to win this game. Like, this ain't a game that you lose, right? If we lose this game, we got a whole bunch of damn problems. We need to start thinking about getting us a new coach. And if this guy wore like a suit and a tie more, I probably wouldn't say that. But anyway, I say 102 Arkansas. 52, Mississippi Valley State.
Oh, I can. All right. Good basketball talk. All right.
Yeah, I'm glad we brought that up, and I looked it up, and I got into it a little bit because I'm gonna feel much better watching the game now that I've, now that I've delved into it a little bit. Well, I guess we should talk about the picks.
Well, I was hoping you wouldn't bring it up. No, you did well again this week. 8-4. Bring your record up to 87 and 56. While I went 7-5, 8, and I'm 80 and 63. So you're up 7 on the year.
Not bad.
Hopefully more games played this week. A lot of games were canceled last week, even some after we had picked them.
Yeah, well, 7 ain't bad. I mean, you can make that up in a week.
We're gonna pick all kinds of games, man.
What was the craziest one that we picked that shouldn't have won that one?
Or there's some that lost. It's like, what the? I don't know, man. You know what I mean? Hawaii. We both picked Hawaii. They lost. We both picked. Wait a minute. I'm sorry. I've got to take off a loss. Arizona State didn't lose, so that didn't count. Wait. Oh, no, he's still. Never mind. Yeah. The game got canceled. So look at that. Look at that. Even better than you thought, man. 8-3 is a good week.
Well, I guess we can roll with this week and do some more if you want to.
Yeah, how about Syracuse at Louisville?
Syracuse at Louisville. I'm going to go Syracuse.
Let's see what I want to ask what Hunter would do. Pick Louisville. Someone pick Louisville.
That's a good pick.
That's a 19-point favorite, so I feel like that should be. I don't know. Both those teams kind of suck. Well, Louisville's 2-6. Syracuse is 1-7. It's gonna be an awful game tomorrow night.
Be something to watch, though.
Oh yeah, I won't complain about any. I like Mac. I like the action on middle of the week. Purdue at Minnesota.
Man, I'm gonna go with Minnesota on that one. Damn, Purdue's got that new coach up there though. How's he doing? Are they like blowing it out?
They're
He,
2-1.
what they
So
got
not
the
bad.
USF coach or UCF coach? Won that national championship over at UCF.
Oh no, that's Scott Frost in Nebraska.
Oh, he's at Nebraska. Okay. Well, who's that up there? Maybe it's just nobody special at Purdue. Never mind.
Jake Fromm. He's
From?
still there. Yeah, he's still there.
Yeah. Sorry, I don't know why I got off on that tangent. Wrong
I'll
school.
pick Purdue.
My
I'll
bad.
pick Purdue. That's all good. I'll pick Purdue. How about New Mexico at the Air Force?
New Mexico. Yeah. Lobos. See what they can do.
I'll go Air Force. You'll either get a bigger lead. How about wow,
What was it?
Indiana at Ohio State?
Ohio State.
Yeah. As much as I'd like to see Indiana knock them off, pick Ohio State too.
Yeah.
I'll be glad to lose that game.
It ain't like they got Frank Schultz up there coaching.
How about Clemson at Florida State?
Clemson.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't even know why I thought about it.
Well, I just have to pick these games, man. I don't know. So I can't. I mean, I don't know. It's kind of the same point. It's like there's no point in even picking Florida at Vandy.
Vandy? Shit, they're gonna lose. Bad. Yeah, definitely Florida over Vandy, man. Sorry, Vandy. Hate to do you like that.
Yeah.
Maybe you'll get lucky. Maybe you'll be the upset.
I'm picking Florida, man. I can't. Oh, well.
I think they're going to demolish you, and embarrass you, and make fun of you while they do it. Play at half speed. Sorry. That's how I feel. How about Tulane Tulsa right now? 14-14 in the fourth quarter. Come on. Come on, Tulane. Pull that out. I think we already picked this one, didn't we?
No, because should have picked it before this.
We should pick them now. Who do you think's going to win? They're tied up. There's 3 minutes left in the fourth.
Oh, okay. I'll go. You got Tulane. I'll take Tulane. I'll do a little different. Take a chance.
Yeah, I'll take Tulane on that. I think they'll be able to pull it out.
We'll see what happens. How about 6-1 Appalachian State at 7-0 Coastal Carolina?
I'm gonna go Appalachian State. Yeah, they'll beat Coastal. Poor old Coastal. They think they're good every year.
I mean, App State's been there where they've been before. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But I'll go Coastal Carolina.
I mean, they are 15th in the nation, so that is the best. That is the better pick. I just think that they don't hold on to it. I think Appalachian State's the one team that can take them down. So that's why I went with that pick.
No, it's not a bad. It's not a bad pick. No, I just need to make up some ground, and I'll take.
No, that's a better pick, honestly. I mean,
how about Illinois and Nebraska? That'll be a good game, though. Too bad it's 11 a.m. when we play.
Nebraska. Yeah. That's the UCF coach that I talked about with the wrong team over there. Yeah, we'll go with him. Yeah, Frost. How's he doing this year? What's their record?
1-2.
Jesus. Not good at all. Well, maybe he's played some really tough teams or something.
I don't know. How about Cincinnati at USF? That'll be a good one. I'm
going to go University of South Florida. Go Bulls. think the Bulls can do it.
Central Florida.
Oh, the Knights. Oh, definitely the Knights are going to pull it. I thought you said USF. Oh, my bad. Yeah, definitely the Knights. Hell yeah. You're picking the other team? That's why you're not winning, Tim.
I know, man. I know. Wisconsin with Northwestern. I mean, I can't say anything. It's like proof is in the pudding, man. 7 picks in the end.
I'm just messing. Wisconsin.
At Northwestern.
Let's go Northwestern on this.
Okay.
Hadn't they had a pretty good year so far?
Yeah, they're 4-0.
Yeah, I thought so.
I'll go Wisconsin. UCLA at Oregon. That'll be a good one.
UCLA?
Yeah.
At Oregon.
Whack.
The Bears against the... I think the Ducks will do it.
Yeah, I'll go Oregon Ducks as well. All right, what we got here?
This game might end in a tie, Tim. It might go to overtime, honestly.
What quarter is it?
Fourth quarter, 1 minute, 41 seconds.
Kentucky at Bama. Oh, shoot. Bama.
Yeah, Bama, for sure. I hate you, Bama. I hate you, and I hate it every time I have to pick your team to win.
I know.
I'm a hater. That's what they call me, is a hater. And you're right, I do. I am. It's ridiculous. It's damn ridiculous.
I hate everybody in the SEC. So.
First, you stole Bear Bryant from Arkansas after he, had committed here. Wait till he goes off to war and then give him a big old package to go over to Alabama. That's not playing fair. He already committed to Arkansas before he left. Sorry.
No, I really don't like Bama, man.
Then what the hell's wrong with you, Kentucky? You had Bear Bryant, and he won you a damn national championship, and you bought him a fucking watch. How stupid was that? Do you look back on that and think to yourself, I am a dumbass, because I could have bought him, a whole bunch of damn money for doing it, and won 57 of them in a row, and had an amazing basketball program. You could be the cream of the crop right now, Kentucky. Think about that. Just bask in that glory. Basketball and football just dominating. Instead, you're just a basketball school.
Just a basketball school. Yeah, they're stupid, man.
Still be nice to be a basketball school, even if you did get your ass beat by Arkansas once in a while.
Got something, man. At least you score national or get, conference championships, national championships recently. We haven't anything, man.
That's Tulane just scored, so sorry.
Don't be sorry, man. All right, Virginia Tech at Pittsburgh.
I'll
go Virginia Tech.
Yeah, me too.
How about Tennessee at Auburn? Oh gosh.
Auburn.
Yeah, hate to pick them too, man. But.
Golly. Maybe Tennessee will win this one, though. Auburn had a tough time with us.
Yeah. Mississippi State at Georgia. Oh, gosh.
Georgia?
I'll go Georgia. Oklahoma State at
Oklahoma?
Yeah, I'll go Oklahoma.
Don't they still got the mullet dude over there?
Oh, yeah. Guy wearing the...
Van Gundy or whatever his name is?
Van Gundy, oh, yeah. The guy always watching OAN, whatever it is,
Anybody got a mullet, got to be a good football coach. They ain't doing anything else. He's either a football coach or you're doing a job with your name on your shirt.
I got Oklahoma, too. How about Liberty at NC State? NC State.
Yeah, Liberty. Jesus Christ. And I don't like picking a sexual abuse guy either, man. But
I'm sorry.
Somebody that's running around with prostitutes and carrying on. Probably fixing to go over to damn South Carolina. This is probably just, He's probably going to go undefeated this year. That damn Freeze. I'll tell you what, man. I can't say he's a good coach, and I don't know why. I mean, he hadn't done too bad wherever he's been at, but just morally, something about the guy.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe it's all those hookers.
Yeah.
Hey, he got caught running around with on his cell phone that the college gave him from Freedom of Information Act.
Oh, man. Well, I'll put you down for NC State then.
I mean, I don't care that he runs around with hookers. I think it's cool. I'm fine with it. It's just he does all that praying and Jesus stuff, and you would think those folks wouldn't care for it too much, but I don't know. They don't seem to care that much either. Yeah. I've heard a lot of them be like, "Well, I want Freeze back, take him back and stuff." He's repented and everything, and I guess if you're being a good Christian, and somebody did repent, you would have to give them a second chance, right? Like that's the thing to do. So,
how about speaking of Hugh? They're all talking South Carolina might hire him. So, how about Missouri at South Carolina?
Man, I think Missouri's gonna win that.
Yeah,
I think that old douche. What's his name?
Drinkowitz.
Golly, poor guy.
Yeah.
I think he'll win it. Yep.
All right. Michigan at Rutgers.
Let's go with Michigan.
I'll go with Michigan as well. Okay, how about Arizona at Washington?
I'm gonna go with Washington on that.
Okay, I will too. Almost done here. USC at Utah.
USC at Utah. Whew, man. We're talking about Southern California, right?
Yeah. Sorry.
That's okay. Man, how good are they? It's always scary, man. I always hate picking against them. Just ever since those ass whippings we took those 2 years, I'm going to go with USC.
Yeah.
Just because of that. Just because of what they did to us when we had Darren McFadden on our football team. That's why I'm picking them. It has nothing to do with this year, just to be very clear.
Oh, yeah. I'll go USC too. How about finish it off? Boise State at Hawaii.
Man, I think Hawaii's going to tear Boise up on that one, don't you? They're going out there. They're going out there that warm weather from the cold, and bones are going to be all like, man,
that's supposed to be 86 degrees.
That's going to be a totally different thing. You're going to get in a plane. You're going to fly into somewhere, and your fucking body is going to expand because of the molecules not moving as fast within it. That's going to fucking be tough right there to deal with, probably. But, I mean, it's not as bad as going up in the fucking mountains or something like that, right? At least you're not going to Colorado.
Yeah. Oh, no, that humidity, man. 86 degrees down there. Oh, man. Yeah. I got Hawaii to do it, too. So that's it for the picks.
All right. So, Mac's not playing?
Who?
The Mac? Like Maction? The Mac?
They already played, man. They already played.
Oh, really?
We'll get I'll remember to get the picks in. Get some early picks next. I'll have to look at it.
All right, man. Cool. Well, I don't know if we have anything else. Do you got anything else?
Yeah, that's pretty good. That's a good podcast.
Yeah, I felt pretty good. We had that one little hiccup at the beginning, and then we just kind of, hit it hard after that.
Yeah, we fought through it, man.
Got a whole live stream in, the whole 9 yards. Almost 2 damn hours.
It's pretty good. Talking Hogs, man. A lot of exciting things going on.
Have you noticed when we're winning and we're just out there just beating everybody? Well, I guess we're not just beating everybody. It feels like that. Just winning a few games feels like it this year, right? So we're out there and we're an average football team. Like the podcast, like last year, this would have been like 3 hours talking about whatever happened in this game. Like with that loss, like just breaking the loss down and stuff. Just trying to understand what exactly happened because we were in such a state of shock and mourning.
I know, man.
It's not like great. That anymore. It's awesome.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's good to be a real football. Yeah, I'm just excited. Excited not to have to break. It makes me laugh. I mean, it's so what we went through. Like those 2 years. As Hog fans, those 2 seasons. Yeah. Turmoil. You know what I mean? And God bless players having to do that every day in that program from the time Morris was hired until he got fired.
Man.
I mean, Balaam, I'm sure it wasn't like terrible. I'm sure the players like enjoyed playing for him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's part of probably feels good, man. I don't know what to say, man. I get emotional kind of talking about
exactly. So look, here's the thing: if you're an Arkansas Razorback fan, there's a basketball game and a football game this week. So yeah, I'm excited. I mean, I love it. I love it when we get to watch 2 or 3 sports all at the same time. It's fun. And I hope we have some baseball. I mean, to me, baseball is the safest, sport to play besides golf in this whole pandemic mess, right? Especially outside college baseball, right? Like, so I really hope we get some baseball.
Yeah, I expect it might be a delayed season. We might get it where maybe we get summer summer Hogs later in the year and stuff. So.
And I'll be honest, I'm just gonna be straight up with you. I'm expecting Dave to get out there and win us a championship. After that ball fell between those 3 players, like you cannot leave, retire, or anything like that before you get us a national championship. Like at this point, you owe it to us after you let that happen. Don't you think?
Yeah, I think the expectation. I agree. Before he can retire, he's got to win us one. We've got to have just a badass team that's just good from start to finish and ends it, man. That's so wild how close you can be. Like there's no other way to be close, man. Just in that moment, it's pictured forever in my mind. Heartbreak.
Yeah.
Like heartbreak, man. Just.
Yeah, no, I totally agree.
So I'm rooting for Dave, man. I like him, man. We're awesome. Awesome baseball. We just take it for granted. Like, oh, yeah. I mean, we had a good team this year, man. I mean.
Yeah.
Year after that, 2019, kind of disappointing. And they still made the College World Series, and you're talking disappointment the year before we made it to the championship. So that's the kind of expectation now. It's not just, hey, it was awesome making the College World Series once every 4 years. Like that's really good. Like, and now it's like, going every year. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. No, that'd be awesome.
At least have a chance to play for the championship. Like, at least I'll go to Omaha and compete for it.
Yeah, exactly. No, that's awesome. So I don't know. Well, we'll see. We'll see what happens. But anyway, I guess that's it, man. That's all I got. Unless you got something.
No, I'm excited, man.